Space travel is a business of immense detail, where every moment is planned with precision. The plan for Sunita Williams and Butch Wilmore was simple. Fly Boeing's new Starliner to the ISS, spend a week testing, and return home. But space is indifferent to human schedules. What began as a short mission unraveled into a 9-month odyssey, a marathon of endurance and problem-solving. Carefully laid plans dissolved as the mission became a real-time lesson in adaptation, forcing astronauts and engineers to confront cascading failures. The world watched as an 8-day mission stretched into months, a fundamental crisis for the vehicle meant to be their lifeboat. The ISS became both sanctuary and high-tech prison, turning their mission from a test flight into a story of survival and ingenuity. The Starliner's journey, meant to be a victory lap, became a grueling extended test of the entire human spaceflight system. It was a reminder. Spaceflight remains inherently risky no matter how polished the launch. Sunita Williams was the perfect choice for this mission. A seasoned astronaut, Navy captain, and engineer with over 322 days in space. Her experience made her ideal to pilot Starliner's first crewed journey. The mission, called Crew Flight Test, was a critical milestone for NASA and Boeing, aiming to certify Starliner for regular flights. NASA's Commercial Crew Program sought to end reliance on Russian rockets by fostering competition between Boeing and SpaceX. Williams and Wilmore were to launch, dock, and spend 8 days testing Starliner's systems. The world expected a smooth flight and a safe landing. For Williams, it was a chance to make history and prove the vehicle's safety for future astronauts. But the most critical test was one no one had planned for. The mission's true challenge would come not from the flight plan, but from the unexpected. The story of Starliner would be written in real time, far from Earth. Trouble began soon after Starliner separated from its rocket. Mission controllers detected persistent helium leaks in the propulsion system, critical for maneuvering in space. As Starliner approached the ISS, 5 of its 28 thrusters failed during docking, a major red flag. Williams and Wilmore, with help from flight software, managed a successful docking, but the list of technical problems grew. The combination of helium leaks and thruster failures threatened the crew's safe return. If the issues worsened, Starliner might not undock or re-enter safely. NASA and Boeing launched a painstaking investigation, extending the mission far beyond its original timeline. Simulations and in-orbit checks revealed systemic issues, overheating thrusters and persistent leaks. It became clear sending the crew home in Starliner was too risky. The spacecraft was no longer a reliable lifeboat. Though their spacecraft was compromised, Williams and Wilmore were safe aboard the ISS, a self-sufficient outpost with robust life support. But safety didn't erase the psychological strain of being stranded, watching Earth from afar with no return date. Their roles shifted from test pilots to full-time ISS crew, taking on daily science, maintenance, and exercise routines. The ISS became their sanctuary and workplace, providing structure and purpose during uncertainty. Without the station, Starliner's failures could have forced a dangerous return. Instead, the ISS offered time and safety to wait for a solution. The station's value as a backup was never clearer. For Sunita and Butch, the ISS was both fortress and lifeline. On Earth, NASA and Boeing raced to solve the crisis, not just to fix Starliner but to bring the astronauts home. After weeks of analysis, NASA decided Williams and Wilmore would not return in Starliner. The capsule would undock and land uncrewed, allowing engineers to study its failures. On September 7, 2024, Starliner landed safely in New Mexico, without its crew. Attention shifted to rescue SpaceX's Crew Dragon would be their ride home. A new mission, Crew 10, would deliver a fresh Dragon to the ISS. This meant months more in orbit as they waited for the next launch window. The Commercial Crew Program's redundancy paid off. SpaceX's Dragon became the lifeboat. Rivalry was set aside for safety. The rescue plan was underway. With her return delayed, Sunita Williams became a full-time ISS resident, and on September 23, 2024, took command of Expedition 72. As commander, she led the crew, managed science, and ensured station safety. Her days were filled with experiments, maintenance, and rigorous exercise to stay fit for Earth's gravity. In January 2025, she set a new record for spacewalking time by a woman. Williams stayed connected to Earth, voting from space, joining a virtual Diwali with President Biden and celebrating her 59th birthday in orbit. Her leadership brought stability during uncertainty. She turned an unplanned extension into an opportunity for science and growth. Williams showed that adaptability and perseverance are an astronaut's greatest tools. Her mission became a testament to finding purpose, no matter how plans change. After more than 9 months, the wait was over. SpaceX's Crew 10 arrived, bringing the Dragon capsule Freedom, their ticket home. The sight of Dragon was a profound relief. On March 18, 2025, Williams and Wilmore boarded Freedom, undocked, and began their return. The fiery re-entry tested the capsule's heat shield as they streaked across the sky. Parachutes deployed and the capsule splashed down off Tallahassee, Florida. Recovery teams opened the hatch, fresh air and home at last. Their 8-day mission had become 286 days in space. Their safe return aboard Dragon closed a dramatic chapter in spaceflight. The Starliner saga is a humbling reminder. Space is unforgiving, and new spacecraft face immense challenges. Boeing's failures highlighted the complexity of human spaceflight.